Hello, it's Sageism, but you can call me Sage. Anyway, I was meditating this morning and out of nowhere, I was thoroughly attacked. I didn't ask for it, I was minding my business, but out of the blue, the question popped into my head. Are you doing this because it feels right to you, it feels in alignment with you, or are you doing it in an effort to prove your worth? I'm gonna let you sit with that for a little bit because I had to sit with it for a little bit. Yeah. So if you didn't know, I have an Instagram page. I don't know how you would know that, but just in case you're new here, I guess. Yeah, I have an Instagram page where I really focus on doing shadow work and helping people shift their mindset around, the way they think, their behavior, things like that. So as soon as I got that download, I run straight to Instagram. I'll probably pop it up here so you can see it and maybe check out the caption. And even after making that post, it occurred to me that a post was not going to do it justice. I need to make a full-on video about this. So I want to start this off with just asking you a couple questions. Maybe you can journal about them, or maybe you just sit with them for a moment and reflect. But those questions are: what does self-worth mean to you? And in what moments do you feel high value? I think self-worth is kind of just lumped in with self-care and self-love. And I think by doing that, we gloss over the importance of each one, because even though they're kind of in the same family, they're not the same. Self-love, now this is from my viewpoint. Don't go whipping out your dictionary, because I ain't got nothing to do with that. This is just from my perspective, okay? So self-love is about your ability to accept yourself for the being that you are, and all the bad and all the good. They really should just call it self-acceptance, because I think accepting yourself is the highest form of love that you could ever give to yourself. So that's self-love. Self-care is how you go about treating yourself and nurturing yourself, being there for yourself, right? And then self-worth is how you perceive yourself. Because just because you accept who you are doesn't mean you perceive yourself at a high quality standard. Does that make sense? So with that being said, I don't think we truly realize the effect that self-worth can have in your life. So let me paint that picture for you. Let's say you have a banging idea for something, a business, I don't know. And when you have that idea, from the moment of conception, you are inspired by it, you're excited about it, you're super, you know that feeling of when a good-ass idea comes to you, right? And then slowly but surely, your brain starts to kick in and you start to feel a little bit intimidated by how much effort, energy, time, whatever that thing is actually going to take to make this idea become a reality. You start to feel defeated because you're thinking to yourself, can I really do it? And then you start thinking about, what if I fail? What if others see me fail? What are they gonna think? And then you start asking yourself, well, what's the point of doing it anyway? Why even bother? And that starts to show up as lack of motivation, or some people disguise it in perfectionism, right? And then it ends up becoming another thing you can add to your list of things you failed to do or couldn't stay motivated long enough to do. And then cue confirmation bias, boom, cue impending big sadness night, okay?
If a man wanna blow, if he ain't, then let me know.
And when you think about it, all of that stems from not having a strong sense of intrinsic value. But you know what? That's not your fault. Think about the kind of world we live in. Think about how you were raised. 9 times out of 10, you probably went to a public school, or I guess you could apply this to any kind of school system, but your value is based upon how well you perform. When you go to college or get a job, your value is based on what you've done. Even as a kid, when you went to the dentist office and you got a sticker or a lollipop, they didn't give it to you just because for being you. They gave it to you because you did a good job sitting there at the dentist office. So I'm here to remind you, encourage you, confirm within you that Your value does not stem from how well you perform or what you do from others. You as a person have intrinsic value, and that is enough. And you want to know how I know this? It's because look at children. Look at how much we value children and we cater to children. And them little things don't do nothing. A 5-year-old can't fix my car. They don't even know how to spell the alphabet yet, but they're important, aren't they? At what point does that stop? Why can kids have inherent value, but you as an adult cannot? Right? It's because society tells us that's the case. It's no longer enough to be youthful and just have fun and enjoy what we do and live from our heart. No, you gotta put up something and let the world examine what you're doing to say, okay, yes, you are a valued person of society, and we're not doing that anymore. Look at the trees. Trees have value, don't they? And all they do is sit there. And I know someone might hop on this video and be like, well, actually, trees have value because they contribute oxygen to the atmosphere. Okay, well, if that's the case, you have value too, because you also contribute to that same process by breathing out carbon dioxide, right? By the way, I want to add that I'm not shitting on kids, okay? Kids are great. I don't want any, but I respect people who have them because, yeah. Anyway, I'm not shitting on kids. I had to run out and take a COVID test because I'm traveling tomorrow, and oh my God, that lady, she got in there in both my nostrils. So I feel like my energy might be a little different because low-key I was crying, but let's get back to it. So how do you fix this? What do you do? Great question. I'm still learning this myself because, as with all areas of healing, it's not like you reach a point where you're like, ooh, I have the highest level of self-esteem possible, I'm done, right? It doesn't work like that. So what I can do is share some things that have worked for me and what I've learned on my journey of increasing my self-worth. So as a recovering people pleaser, I looked for validation in the smallest of interactions. And so in this case, let's use text messaging, for example. Even text messaging was something that I would sweat over and be like, oh, will they like this? Should I say this like that? Oh, I shouldn't have put that exclamation point there. I stopped doing those things. And I recognized that me sending my unfiltered message, regardless of how they're gonna take it, it's okay. I mean, it's one thing if you're talking to like your parents, yes, be mindful of what you're saying, but overall, I just stopped putting that smiley face or that LOL when it doesn't really need to be there, just to try to like make someone else feel comfortable, or in a sense of me not wanting to be misunderstood. You know what I'm talking about. Stop adding those smiley faces or that little LOL after your messages and just send it. Another thing I started doing was examining everything that I did and asking myself the intention behind it. Do I want to wear this dress because I think that other people are going to notice me, or do I have a hope of people like complimenting me? Or am I putting on this dress because of how it makes me feel? Do I feel empowered in this dress? Do I feel sexy in this dress? You have to start questioning yourself in those ways and being mindful of the things that you do. Ladies, when you go to put makeup on, is it truly for you? Or is it because you've noticed people treat you better when you go out? Something else I started doing was I stopped consuming content from other people, whether it's educational, inspirational, through Instagram, TikTok. I stopped doing that and I started listening to myself more and formulating my own opinions. I don't know about you, but I developed this habit of like, I wonder what such and such thinks about this. Or even when like you're on a video, your first thing to do is look at the comments because you want to see what other people are saying. In a way, it kind of determines the value that you get out of the video you're about to watch. You want to be related to. And so being mindful of those things, really sinking into your creative expressions. For me, that's dancing. So I set aside time to dance. I mean, I already kind of do it in everything while I'm in everything that I'm doing, but to really say with intention, this is my creative expression. doing more of that has made me feel a sense of authenticity, a sense of identity. Like, this is something that is strongly a part of me, and I stand by that. No one can take that away from me. And so I encourage you, whether that's painting, singing, poetry, filming YouTube videos, if that's your creative expression, then jump into that, own it, enjoy the pleasure that comes from that. And I think that really does serve to boost your self-worth and how you value yourself, because that's something you're not doing for anyone else. You don't care what anyone else thinks while you're doing this thing. It is strictly for you. Lastly, examine the relationships in your life. Are you pouring into them more than they're pouring into you? How are the people in your life treating you? Because I've noticed that how people treat you is generally a reflection of how you treat yourself. And when you start treating yourself better, either the people around you step up to meet you on that level, or you start realizing, like, maybe this relationship isn't for me. And I mean friendships, family, romantic partners, even your job. You can be in a relationship with your job and you realize that it's not working out. So really examine the relationships around you. Also journaling, but no one likes to hear me say that because people don't like to journal.
I'm gonna say it, I don't care. Get mad if you get mad.
Yeah, but those are just a few of the things that I've noticed that has really helped me, and I genuinely think that they will help you too. Let me know what you think down below. Share your experiences, share your answers from when you journaled. Maybe I'll do that too, kind of get a little thread starting. So anyway, until next time, I love you all. You know the drill. If you're vibing, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.